and welcome to this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Sandra, and Sandra is from Celebrity Cruises, and as you can see, we're going to be talking about the Galapagos. She had an opportunity to just come back from the Galapagos not that long ago, so we're just going to be looking at some of her pictures and some of the information that she had firsthand. Do make sure that you look back at our playlist of Celebrity Cruises because I have at least 7 or 8 episodes there, and there's some really great information. But do make sure you come back to this because this is going to be really exciting. So over to you, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. So, like you said, I just had the opportunity to sail in the Galapagos in May, and I took a 10-night journey. So today I want to share my personal pictures and videos and talk about why you should put the Galapagos on your bucket list with Celebrity Cruises. So let's
Awesome.
dive right in.
Yes.
So Celebrity does offer a truly seamless, all-inclusive as well. That's very important.
Mhm.
Environmentally conscious vacation, Celebrity style. And you are up close and personal with these creatures as well. Whether it's water creatures or birds, sea
Wow.
life, it's amazing, absolutely
Yeah.
phenomenal. And you're going to see that in my pictures. And
Awesome.
there really is a difference between visiting and experiencing it, and
Mhm.
absolutely phenomenal. Here's really, I think, the three great reasons anyone should visit the Galapagos. It well, once For one thing, it's a once in a lifetime trip, and you walk in the footsteps of Darwin, really up close and personal with the natural world there, and encountering flora, fauna, and all of these creatures that do not fear humans like they might in other places of the world. So you're really up close and personal. But when it
Wow.
comes down to it, it's the flora. So while
Mhm.
the animals of the Galapagos, have evolved and adapted, so has the flora, and so it is just absolutely stunning. And each island that you go to has a different landscape, and it's
Mhm.
just, you want your camera out, you want to take pictures. It's just absolutely stunning from looking at a prickly pear cactus tree, or a scalesia tree that grows
Mhm.
60 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
Also, isn't it stunning?
Yeah, wow. Yeah, so you really need to remember if you're using, a DSLR or something to bring an extra memory card or an external drive because you don't want to lose any of those pictures and run out of space because I'd be clicking constantly. Goodness. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I also bring an underwater camera if you can,
Mhm.
or if you wanted to bring your regular camera, as long as you have some kind of a waterproof case for it, which is what I did, and it worked really, really well.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And then the fauna, again, just, absolutely stunning and up close and personal with these marine iguanas and crabs and penguins, and just absolutely stunning. And
Yeah.
then the adventure. So, whether it's, volcanoes, or, because the island is an archipelago of 19 islands formed from a volcano, just again, the landscape is
Mhm.
incredible, but these creatures are so unique because of the way that these islands have formed, and they have extreme isolation because of the convergence of the three ocean currents. So they've really developed unusual wildlife there. So lots to see there. These are the three great reasons to visit the
Mhm.
Galapagos.
Awesome. I
Like
love
I
how
said
those
earlier,
animals come so close to you. That's incredible.
and wait till you see some of my pictures
Yeah,
coming up, Kathleen.
goodness.
They'll blow you away how up close and personal they were with me. Also want to mention that it is truly all inclusive. I mentioned that earlier, but when I say it, I mean it. So, you'll do a pre and post stay in Quito, Ecuador, and that is all inclusive. The round trip flight to Baltra, once you're flying into Quito and you do your pre and post, the internal flights to get you to the ship where you join in the first island, Baltra, that's inclusive, and it's chartered by us, so it's all celebrity clients on board. And even though it's only a 2-hour flight, we give you a full meal on board and
Mhm.
full beverage service. And
Okay.
then your 7-night Galapagos cruise included all your meals, your beverages, your gratuities, your onboard programming, your shore excursions, which are led by a national park, Galapagos National Park, a naturalist, your snorkeling equipment, binoculars, bathrooms, everything is absolutely included in our packages.
Wow, that's incredible.
So all included. And so just to
Mhm.
go into another option is if you're going all that way, it
Right.
is a great opportunity for you to extend your trip. And instead of doing just a 10 or 11 night, which we have listed here, if you
Mhm.
do the 10 or 11 night, you would do a 2-night pre-stay in Quito. And it's a phenomenal city for you to explore. It's a colonial city. You do your
Mhm.
7-night Galapagos cruise. And then if you do a 10-night, you're spending one night pre-Galapagos cruise in Quito, Ecuador. If you do the 11 night, you're doing 2 nights.
Right.
And again, everything being included. But you also have the option, if you want to stay a little longer, to do a 16 night, and then you're going to tack on Machu Picchu, right? If you're going all that way, why not spend a little time, if Machu Picchu is on your bucket list, to do both the Galapagos and Machu Picchu?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, on the left, you can see that it includes also the luxury luxury train to Machu Picchu, your tour connecting airfare, all your transfers, your fully escorted exclusive tours, your park entrance fees, gratuities, and meals as well.
Man, that's like everything. Like there is nothing else that you need to worry about. Like Celebrity's taking care of it all, and that's perfect.
And it really is, everything is included from the time you show up, the time you arrive at the airport. Like there's nothing that you need to think about other than maybe buying some souvenirs, or if you wanted to get a massage on the ship. I can't think of anything else that you would have to pay for. So we truly are taking great care of you. Now, in case any of your viewers are not aware of where the Galapagos are, I've put it on the island. There's Quito, Ecuador, and then you can see the Galapagos Islands is just off the coast of Ecuador, and you can see where all those islands are and how isolated they are. So that's where your clients would be visiting when they book the Galapagos with you.
Awesome.
And as I mentioned, everything's included. So pre-stay is at the JW Marriott Hotel, a stunning 5-star hotel, and I stayed there. It's phenomenal. I'm going to show you some pictures. These are my personal pictures. So we do give you a water bottle in the room, and just look how beautiful this hotel is. Ecuador is known for its roses. So they produce and they export roses. So they don't import, they export them because they are all grown locally. And so these beautiful bouquets of flowers, they sell them. They're all over the hotel, but they sell them as well. Can you guess what they would cost locally for a big bouquet like that of 25 roses?
Oh goodness, probably close to $100 would be my guess for something as big as that.
$3 or $4 US.
No way. Oh
yes, and they're just so beautiful. So you'll see
crazy.
that all over the hotel, and it does have an outdoor pool and hot tub for our guests to enjoy, and some beautiful restaurants there
So
as
there's
well.
no reason not to spoil your significant other with some roses.
That's right. If you're going all the way to the Galapagos, right? Why not? There you go. And like I said, pre-Galapagos, like prior to going to the ship and taking your Galapagos journey, you get to explore Quito, this beautiful colonial city, which is a celebrity exclusive as well. And it's phenomenal. One of the things I did is I went in a day early, or even if you're doing the 11 night, if you have the extra day at the end, I recommend going up to the volcano, because they have Pinchacha volcano there, where you can swing in the clouds. Okay, I'll show you this is me swinging in the clouds, which is phenomenal. And you really are at the edge. You can tell in more in the video on the left. And it's absolutely phenomenal up there. They also have a cafe where you can have a croissant or an empanada and a latte, and you're sitting right in the clouds of the volcano, which right now in this video, we are 16,400 feet, if you can imagine. Like, that's pretty amazing, right?
My goodness, wow. What a view.
So it's a fun. If you have the extra day, you can speak with our staff in the hotel, and they can arrange for a guide to take you, and it's really inexpensive and something for sure. Now,
amazing.
One of the things we include pre-Galapagos in the Quito city is we do a city tour, and it's a full day city tour, and we take you around to just truly see this beautiful city. And on the left, that's me at the Virgin Quito, okay? So a beautiful statue that overlooks the city, because there are a lot of churches, and you'll learn all about the history of the churches there, which is phenomenal. And I found out on the trip that she was built the same year I was born. So we're the same age, the Quito. And then in the middle is, they actually take you to basically the equator, where you are latitude 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, right? And they have you walk the equator line, and you are pushed to one side inevitably. It is actually really hard to do, and I did quite well. So I'll show you on the equator line. And it's quite most of the guests fell right off. Do it in a matter of 2 or 3 seconds. They fell right off. So it's
You did
absolutely just
great.
something phenomenal to try for sure. Now, I showed you that one again, just taking you back to once you've finished your lovely time, your 1 or 2 days in Quito, Ecuador, we're going to fly you then from Quito to Baltra, included in your trip. And it's on Avianca, again, chartered just for you. And it's a full service meal. It's like you're in first class, which is nice because it's just us on board. And that's a celebrity exclusive as well. And then when you get to Baltra, we're going to transfer you over to the tender to take you to your ship. Now, I was sailing on the Celebrity Flora, but we do have 3 ships there that I'll talk about a little bit later. But I'll tell you, I was greeted right away by this guy as we boarded the ship. There he is. I can't promise he'll be there when your client's board, but there he was.
Official greeter of the Galapagos Island.
I thought he was the official greeter of the Galapagos Island.
Oh, I'd rather be greeted with that than anything else any day. That's so cute. Goodness.
I love it. And then, of course, I was also greeted by the crew on the ship as we sailed towards her.
Crew members waiting for all of you.
There we go. And the naturalists right away greeted us on the pier and took us over to the ship, and they were all there to greet us on this gorgeous ship, one of 3 ships that you'll get to choose from with Celebrity Cruises. And then the Flora is an all-suite ship. And it's the most luxurious ship that we have in the Galapagos if you're looking to treat yourself. So, of course, the staff were there to greet me with a nice cool cloth. And then they were also there to greet me with a nice glass of champagne.
I'm going to take a glass. Thank you.
Absolutely phenomenal.
That's so good.
Yes. And
that
then
makes you feel so special.
It was. And then there was champagne in the room, too. So, on the Flora, we provide that. And, there was also a musician greeting us as well. And you can see in the background just how beautiful the ship is. That's the, lobby area on deck 3 where guest services is. And someone assisted us right through to our suite on board as well.
Beautiful.
Yes. And while you're there, you see it all through the eyes of an expert. On the Flora, as an example, is 100 passengers, only 50 suites, 100 passengers. That's our largest ship in the Galapagos, which is still very small, super spacious. For every 10 passengers, we have a naturalist. So when you go ashore to visit these amazing islands, you're in a really small group. You can hear the naturalist. And if you're traveling with multiple people, you would show up and go together as a group, which is great as well.
Yeah.
And there's going to be great opportunities for you to do advanced snorkeling, or you could keep it, you could do, more basic snorkeling just off the coastline, because we do them off the beach as well. But I recommend if you can float and you can put on a life jacket and you're going to the Galapagos, do the deep sea snorkeling. Because to me, it wasn't so much advanced as it was just floating. And that's where I had a chance to really see like the sea turtles swimming at me, the sea turtles, everything. It was phenomenal. You'll also have coastal explorations, an opportunity to kayak. I recommend doing the kayaking because the sea lions do swim all around you.
Oh, goodness.
We also do off-beach excursions, and they offer hiking, and they'll do either a shorter hike or a longer hike. So depending on your mobility and what your preference is, you can do a much longer hike or you can do a short one. I actually did a little bit of both just to see what both were like. Yeah. And I never felt like on the shorter hike I missed anything in specific. Like I still saw the same fauna, the same landscape, the same creatures, but it was just a shorter version of that hike. So it is a good option either way.
That's great.
And you are up close and personal with things like this beautiful tortoise, which is probably about 150 years old. And it's the only place in the world where you can get this close. And we just advised that, you're not allowed to touch these creatures, but they're allowed to touch you.
Okay. Yeah.
So look at how up close and personal you are.
Goodness.
And I know, there I am with a tortoise as well. And we do visit Santa Cruz Ranch, and this is basically a tortoise ranch. And you get to see, I couldn't count how many tortoises I've seen, maybe hundreds potentially, and of all different sizes. Yeah. And we our guests get to experience a beautiful lunch there and an Ecuadorian production dance show as well, which is absolutely stunning. At this point, I also want to mention that, you know, it is important to Celebrity Cruises that we leave the world a better place. And the nice thing about our ships is they're very environmentally friendly, especially the Flora. But we want to leave the world a better place, and we want to minimize our footprint everywhere, but especially in the Galapagos. So we work really, really closely with the Ecuadorian government, and we support the community by sourcing fresh local seafood from the fishermen. And we also the local chocolatiers. We get the chocolate from them for the pillow treats. And our guests and us have donated at least 1.5 million to the Galapagos Fund, and we've helped plant 50,000 trees. So love that. You know, it's so important for us to minimize our footprint and work with the Galapagos to keep it pristine. And on top of that, I mentioned, you know, the Flora is our newest ship there, so it features dynamic positioning so that it when it anchors, it never has to put down, you know, an anchor to in any way hurt the seabed. And we also use things like silicone paint to glide, so we use less fuels. This is a first ship really that has solar panels to make electricity as well, and there are no single-use plastics. So
that's great. And you're really making the area better for being there as opposed to the opposite. And I think that's wonderful.
Absolutely. And you, when you're there, you see it. And this is me my own personal pictures where I went and planted a Scalacia tree, and they give you the boots, and that day the weather was phenomenal the whole time, but it just spit a little bit of rain on this day, so they gave us little rain jackets as well. And we went and planted the trees ourselves, and it's a real feel good project, because there's the tortoise I met. I call him Raphael. Look how beautiful he is.
Goodness. I like the grass hanging right out of his mouth there. Goodness.
I know, it's really a true video, right?
And it's probably good that it was raining a little bit while you were there, because you can dig the ground a little bit easier. So it all worked out.
That's right. And now one of the other islands you could potentially visit is Ferdinandina Island, and you know, beautiful marine iguanas. I love these marine iguanas, and you know, you're only seeing 2 in this picture, but in some pictures you might see in the future, there's thousands laid out on the bedrocks. And these marine iguanas have adapted to the environment there. So, you know, on some of the islands, they couldn't find a source of food, so they adapted and learned how to hold their breath and be able to dive into the ocean right down to the bottom and eat off the bottom of the ocean. So, you know, just really unique. And then they come up and they bask in the sun and the rocks because they like the heat. So they need that heat, but it's just stunning to see them. They look very like these are my pictures, by the way. Look at the marine iguanas, right?
Oh, they're they're looking at you. Goodness me.
I know,
Funny facial expressions too. I like that.
I actually think they were looking at me. Here in this video here, I'll show you. I felt like he was walking towards me and looking right at me.
Because the wind or the tide or something, it's being a wild this animal that
absolutely stunning.
Being highly degraded.
I love their posture as they walk. That is incredible to see.
That was just because the wind.
Yeah, and your clients can see it up close and personal. And like I said, you know, there could be thousands. So this is my personal video as we kind of walked through one of the volcanic rocks, and there were thousands of them all around me, which is phenomenal. And sometimes you can see them use their nose to spit out the seawater.
First time ever walking through marine iguanas. Look at how many there are.
There's a lot. It's just absolutely
it's
phenomenal.
Almost hard to get your footing because there's so many. You don't want to step on any tails.
You know, there were a few guests who were like, I'm not sure I could do it, but they did do it. So it was just a lot of fun to see so many basking out on the sun. And then just so many species of birds, from the flightless cormorant to, of course, the biggest thing the guests want to see is the blue-footed booby, or maybe the red-footed booby or the Nazca booby. They're just absolutely stunning.
Lots of different kinds. Yeah.
Yes. And you don't know what you're going to see, right? So, you know, some of these creatures have given birth, and you may see some of their babies. Like, it's depending on when you go and what's happening. There's different species born every month.
Mhm.
And the blue-footed booby, you may catch them. The males have the strongest turquoise webbed feet, and you
Mhm.
may catch them doing a little dance because they do a dance to perform to find a mate. So that was spotted while I was on the trip, which was
Oh,
phenomenal to see.
goodness. Oh, seeing things like that and getting out and exploring our world is just life-changing to see that dance, right? I know that sounds dramatic, but it's something that the average, vacation, you're not going to get that. So to see that is just remarkable. Goodness.
Absolutely. And I just find them so, it warms my heart to see them because they're such a
Mhm.
unique creature. Just absolutely beautiful. Here's a blue-footed booby on a cliff. They were just perched all up there on the cliff. Absolutely stunning. Then you might catch the waved albatross.
Mhm.
This particular waved albatross was guarding her egg. She was very protective of that egg beneath her there. It's a stunning sight to see, and you can see them flying around the islands as well.
That's a big wingspan as well.
It's a huge wingspan. I agree. Stunning. And then just like I said, a lot of species of birds. So gorgeous birds that you'll see, and then in the middle, that's one of the birds was a baby. It's not doesn't even have its full feathers yet. But the naturalist did say that probably within a week or two would have all of its full feathers and be able to fly.
Wow, that's fast.
In their feathers, they are very
There you go.
comfortable.
See, that's the video there too, and it'll show. You'll see what the bird will eventually look like when the video spans here to the left. That's, I believe, probably the appearance.
In my opinion, it's no more than a month old.
Absolutely stunning there.
Beautiful.
And then, like I said, beautiful landscapes as well, right? So just a little video to show you this gorgeous landscape. And every island is incredibly different as well. That's my roommate there on my trip. Absolutely stunning. And then also penguins, right? So here we have
He's trying to go a little closer like that, and
a Galapagos penguin.
So people on the other side,
And you can
will
see
also have a chance to get a
the left side is
This
a
amazing.
marine iguana,
No, there's
a
another
crab.
part of the world that you can see a bird, iguana, a reptile, and a mammal in the
Right.
same place.
Yep. You can see like a bird, a reptile, a mammal.
Goodness.
That is
It
yeah,
almost
Iguana
goes
all
in
in the
and
same
see
place.
everything else.
And you can see clearly there's a sea lion there. These are my personal videos because I'm not the best camera woman. But I was on a boat at that point and it was moving, but I just thought it was absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Now, one of the islands I visited was Gardner Bay, and that's where you really are going to be up close and personal with these gorgeous sea lions as well. And it's a stunning white beach, which is different than some of the other islands as well. And hundreds of sea lions, coming up. And on my particular visit, a lot of them were pregnant. They were going to give birth any day. I was really hoping it would be that day, because that would be interesting to see, but you can't control that. But absolutely stunning sea lions on the beach.
Beautiful.
But also a chance to see them in the water.
Okay.
So, like I said, you can snorkel just off of an island, which is, a little shallower, or you can do a deep sea snorkel. And I do recommend doing a deep sea snorkel. This is my personal picture of a sea lion on one of the deep sea snorkels.
Oh, I
And
love
this,
it.
look at this. Now, I took, I'm sure that some of your clients may have a more professional camera. I actually took an iPhone 13, which has a very good camera on it, and I bought a waterproof case. And I wasn't sure how the videos would turn out or what type of footage I would get. But this is what I captured and saw in person whilst in the Galapagos. So these sea lions were swimming right up to me, blowing bubbles in front of my face. And you can see I've captured another snorkeler at the beginning who was also beside me there taking pictures. And the sea lion is going back to the snorkeler there and playing with her as well, and then coming back to me. So it was a lot of fun. And there were multiple sea lions, multiple turtles as well. So here that's just a different sea lion there.
Yeah.
I don't think that video is as good. We'll go to the next one.
Yeah.
I also captured a flightless cormorant who is eating a fish in front of me and then goes down to dive to find more. And he was within arm's reach. Like I could have reached out and touched him. He was not even bothered that I was there beside him or her.
Incredible. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, for
And
our underwater pictures, we tend to use our Olympus Rugged, and it's, I think, a GX7 or something. It gives the best outdoor and underwater pictures. It's incredible. And it's like drop proof and shock proof, and it's amazing. It's one of the ones
I
we
recommend it then because the like they really are so up close and personal with you, including the sea turtles. So what I did by accident was I saw this sea turtle and I decided to follow it because it was just so beautiful and amazing to me that then I looked up and I was like, oh, where's my group?
Yeah.
But
And they just like glide underwater. It's just beautiful.
it's stunning, and they will come up as well and hang on the surface and poke their head up. So if you're in a boat, you'll see them as well, or even they'll come beside you in the water and kind of just take a breath and stick their head up. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Incredible. Wow.
Now, also kayaking is an option on multiple islands that you'll visit, and you'll kayak with the sea lions. You could potentially see other creatures as well, but they really like the kayak lions. They come right up to you and swim right by you. So yeah, absolutely stunning. You don't know what you're going to see when you go, which is great. But you'll likely see these salty crabs and some flamingos as well while you're there. And one of the islands that I visited was called Post Office Bay. And the bottom picture there, that's the post office. And so this is a very old tradition in the Galapagos on Post Office Bay. So in the room, they give you a postcard, a Galapagos postcard, and you could write it out to someone and send it to someone. I sent it to my daughters. And my note to them was, one day, Mommy will take you to the Galapagos Islands. It's beautiful. Your mom loves you. And I put it into the post office there on Post Office Bay. And what happens is it doesn't get mailed. What happens instead is someone in the future who's from Canada but lives close by will go through and look through all the postcards, find one that find a postcard that lives near them or is in driving distance, and then come and deliver it to you. And you're supposed to invite them in for tea and talk about your Galapagos experience.
Isn't that something? Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible. That personal touch. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So fun there. Now that sums up sort of my Galapagos pictures, but I just wanted to give kind of an idea of what you'll see, what you'll be up close and personal with. And then I wanted to talk about the 3 choices of ships that clients will have. So as I said, I sailed on the Celebrity Flora, and you got to see it a little bit in the pictures there. And she is all suites, one of the most environmentally friendly ships in the world. 100 people, 50 suites, all included, the most luxurious ship we have there. We also have the Celebrity Expedition, and she is 48 passengers. She's mostly veranda category, but she does have a few suites as well. And she had a full renovation, so she's absolutely beautiful. But if you want intimate, there's also the Celebrity Exploration. She's 16 passengers, and so she's just 8 rooms on board, a few ocean views, and the rest verandas. So you could have, if you're a couple and you want to go with 7 other couples, or maybe a multi-generational family, you could have this whole ship to yourself if you did the exploration in the Galapagos.
Wouldn't that be something? Goodness.
I know, that would be fun.
That would be a great multi-generational trip. I think it would be amazing.
Yeah, and this is it. So if I'm going to show you a few pictures. This is intimate, exclusive, potentially private, authentic to the Galapagos. It's really perfect for families, friends, mini charters. This is like for the sailors at heart, right? They want a small ship. Covert meetings. I love that. And this is what she looks like. So this is the Exploration's front deck. It's absolutely stunning. This is an example of what one of her staterooms looks like on board. And the outdoor dining is essentially two tables of 8, right?
Okay,
Alfresco dining. Yeah. And then indoor dining, same thing. Here's the Expedition. And she is iconic and award-winning, highly personalized service, great for multi-generational. She's our mid-sized ship in the Galapagos, comfort-seeking. And again, just a few pictures of her spaces. So open spaces, Beagle Grill at the top that you can eat at and enjoy the view of the Galapagos. She has a beautiful Discovery Lounge. And what we do on all the ships is there are presentations the
Mhm.
night before you visit an island. So
Yeah.
they'll do a full presentation on what you can expect. And then also you get to sign up for what shore excursions you'd like to do, whether you want the short hike, the long hike, do you want to do kayaking, do you want to do snorkeling, and that you can sign up exactly what for your preferences, which is
Mhm.
fantastic.
Mhm.
This is the restaurant in the expedition, another example of the veranda stateroom. And then
Beautiful.
here's the Flora. Okay,
Yes.
so like I said, ultra luxury, award winning, eco
Mhm.
conscious, purposely designed. We do give you a backpack in the room and some ponchos and sunscreen. This is just the naturalists. We got to meet them at one of those presentations. They
Yeah.
were phenomenal. They're all from the Galapagos, and
Mhm.
they are full of information. One of the naturalists that I met was I asked him, "Oh, how long have you been doing this?" And he said, "Well, I'm an environmental lawyer, and so I practice law every other month, and then every other month I work on the Celebrity Flora." And
Oh
I
my
thought,
goodness.
wow, what a life! I
Oh,
thought that was
wow.
just, he was, so I don't think an environmental lawyer would work on the flora if they had a problem with it, right? Like they
Right.
support the flora and all the environmental initiatives, which I thought was
Absolutely.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Here's the lounge on the floor in the bottom right, with just a few pictures of some of the phenomenal food and beverages you'll get on board as well.
Mhm.
My drink of choice was a mudslide. And there's a great restaurant that you can go to for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then there's an upper deck that you could, if you want. I really was gravitated towards being outside and just enjoying the view all the time, so I ate up there quite a bit,
Yes.
because this is kind of the view, right? So, and
You
there is
can't
a
beat
hot
that.
tub.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a hot tub. Now, I found when I was done my day of touring, because you do an excursion in the morning, you come back, have lunch, you go back out in the afternoon.
Mhm.
I just didn't want to go to my room, so I would sit in the hot tub, and the view, I didn't regret it because the views were incredible. Look at the the mountains I'm seeing in the
Yes.
islands. It was just stunning. And one of the days I was sitting in the hot tub, I turned around, and this is what I saw. I didn't even know we had pulled up to this beautiful island. But absolutely stunning. You do want to bring lots of sunscreen, or we'll have it there because you are close to the equator. There I am in the hot tub.
And thinking
And
of the
yeah,
sunscreen, did you find it really hot, or did you find with the breeze you didn't overheat?
it depends on the time of year you
Mhm.
go. So I went in May, which is right in the middle of the year before we go into the dry season when it starts to get hotter. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, it really depends on, and I apologize, it's
Mhm.
January, February, March that's the most hot. And I was in the middle. So I was in the middle before it starts to get to wet season. I
Okay.
apologize.
Mhm.
So the weather was perfect. I
Right.
went in May. I was extremely comfortable walking around the islands. I could be in just a t-shirt, but I recommend bringing kind of a long sleeve, thin shirt if you don't want to
Mhm.
get too much sun. Same thing with the pants, just really light pants, because there is so much sun. Or a
Yeah.
lot of people did wear kind of cargo shorts and wore sunscreen.
Okay. Mhm.
But the weather was perfect. If you were to go kind of Jan, Feb, March, it is warmer in the air, and the water's warmer as well. When I went, the water was a little bit cooler, so I did wear a wetsuit, and we provide them. So we have a variety of wetsuit categories and sizes, and we let you try them all on, and you can decide which one's most comfortable and fits you best, and you keep it for the entire week along with your fins and your snorkel mask.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, so you find what's comfortable with you and keep it the
Mhm.
whole week and wash it in between. We have bins that we utilize, and showers as well as you come back on.
Mhm.
So they really have quite an organized system.
That's great. Wow.
On the Flora, they're unique to the ship, and I did experience this. You have the option to go glamping. So we have these beautiful cabanas at the top, and it is a 5-course meal that's included for dinner. And
Okay.
then they provide like backgammon and games, and then you sleep
Mm.
under the stars in the cabana. It's a luxury overnight experience under the
Mhm.
stars, essentially. So this is kind of
Mhm.
what it looks like there.
Look at
It's
that.
very romantic for a couple. I actually did it with my girlfriend, so it
Mhm.
wasn't about romance. It was more
Right.
just to experience it.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, that's
Now,
lovely.
yeah. So just if you are going, all three of our ships are fantastic choices.
Mhm.
But the Flora is very unique, because she does have these Nova Aranya yacht tenders.
Yeah.
So all of our ships have tenders, but these are the most up to date ones because it's the newest ship. and it pulls up right to the marina of the Flora. So I find if you do, have any mobility issues, that might be the best ship for you because you are walking directly onto that yacht tender from the marina, which is amazing. So absolutely stunning. Again, this is our ship with all suite accommodations, Michelin-starred menus, and the Galapagos glamping as well.
Goodness, absolutely stunning.
Now, lastly, right now we have the best promotion I've ever seen, and this might get extended, but right now it goes until October 31st.
Okay.
And it is combinable for the Galapagos. So we're offering 20% savings on 10-night, 11-night, and 16-night packages to the Galapagos that go right up until the end of 2024. And we're combining that, allowing that to combine with our Flights on Us offer, because normally you would pay for your own flights to get to Quito, Ecuador round trip from anywhere in Canada or the States, but we're actually covering you up to $750 per person, which I believe in Canadian is around $975 Canadian, and per person to get you to the Galapagos. Now, a lot of Galapagos clients don't want to just take the most basic economy flight, and that's okay. You can go up to premium economy or business class and just use that $975 towards it. As long as you book the air with us, we'll cover up to $975 Canadian for you.
Wow, that's incredible. And I love that you guys give such variety for flights. It's not assigned, it's not you get what you get. You're able to go in and pick the like you said, you can premium economy, regular, like whatever you choose. And that's something I think is really special to you. And I love that you guys do that.
Yeah, and really we leave it up to you. You can choose what you want. We work with all the airlines. You can choose what best suits you. We get a lot of people who want Air Canada. They like their Aeroplan points, right? So that is an option for sure. If they do, one tip I'll give you is if you don't book your air with us, apologize. You don't book the air with us. What we do instead is we'll take $500 total off the package for you if you wanted to book your own air if they had points, etc. Okay.
Right.
All right. So next up, that's it. We're at the end. Did you have any questions for me, Kathleen?
I think I asked along the way, but that's just stunning. I think it was just so beautiful. And to see the firsthand experiences from somebody who's been is so much more important than just, reading a brochure. So I really appreciate you coming and talking to us all about your personal experience. And I guess my only question is, when are you going back? It looks like you had a great time.
I need to take my husband now. Yeah. So I really do need to go back.
That's the problem,
I had to watch the kids, so I went with my girlfriend, right? Yeah. But yeah, I want to go back. I wouldn't even mind going back to experience one of our other two ships. Yeah. And also we do offer, these both loops. So we do an outer loop or an inner loop. Right. And I get a lot of questions about which one's better, and I don't think one is better than the other. What happens is the Galapagos Park, they dictate which islands we can go to, and we can only go to them every 2 weeks. And so that's why they say, okay, well, we're going to send you on different routes each time so that we're not environmentally impacting an island.
Yes.
But they make sure we go to similar islands so that it's the same. You're not missing out on flora or landscape or creatures because each of them will give you what you would have had on the alternative route, but a different but similar island. Yeah. So either route is good, but I might try out the other one just to see myself in person. But absolutely, my job is to describe this beautiful destination, but I honestly think you need to go to it. It is just undescribable in some ways because it's so beautiful and stunning and just immersive and just warming to the heart to be in this destination and see all these amazing creatures so up close and personal.
Absolutely. Yes. So thank you so much for putting the time and putting that all together for us. I hope everybody has a great week and we'll see everybody next week. Goodbye, everybody. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this week's Cruise Chat with Sandra. It was so awesome to see her personal videos and her personal experience for when she went to the Galapagos. And I just adore that. I think it's just wonderful that she was able to get up there just recently, and she had such a really cool videos. I loved seeing the swing on the volcano. That was really, really a neat touch. It's just something that you don't see that often. And it was super cool to see. And also, I mean, some of those animals just coming right up, the sea lion greeting them, all of the, just the flora and the fauna. And it's just phenomenal. I just enjoyed seeing the pictures, and I hope you did too. If you enjoyed this week's video and you really want to listen to some of them that I have previously recorded, because I think this is number 98 8, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure that you can tune into our podcast. It's Cruising the Waves podcast. And also subscribe to our channel so that you can see what's upcoming. I try to upload every Thursday, but sometimes life happens and things get in the way. But for the most part, I put out a new video every single week. And I just want to make sure that you're subscribed so you can see them. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to tune in and subscribe. And we'll see everybody next week with our next cruise line. Take care. Goodbye.